Why is it that when you decide to actually look into your products, your inventory, your margins, the amount of SKUs that you have, it'll inevitably lead to a better ad results? Well, this is what I'm going to cover in today's video. So my name is Justin and I'm the founder of Wizo Media, an e-commerce marketing agency specializing in elevating thriving brands by simplifying e-commerce growth. There's kind of 3 points I want to mention in today's video. And the first one is quite simple. The larger inventory you have, the higher your overall budget you'll need to place for that inventory. And you might say, well, of course, if I have more inventory on hand, it'll cost me more. But I don't think you understand exactly how much more it will cost you. First of all, there's the obvious point of that argument, which is you have more inventory. So that's kind of a depth. It's sitting there, it's not doing anything, it's not being sold right now. So that inventory itself, right? You have the cost of goods sitting there on the shelf. Then you have the shelf space, right? The inventory space you have, the warehouse space that you need to actually have all of that on stock. So this is the obvious part of this argument. Now, the not so obvious part of this is the amount of creative work that you'll need to do for all of these SKUs. And before I continue even further, the reason why I'm recording this video is because we work with many stores that are multiple SKU stores. And I'm noticing a lot of issues that these owners sometimes face with inventory, with SKUs, with, again, managing their creative work for the holiday season as an example. And I do feel like all of that could be simplified if they only looked at their core selling group of product. Because look, there's also all the work that you would have to do, as I was just about to start, into the creative part of things, which essentially the more SKUs you have, then the more product pictures you have to have on a white background, the more product pictures you need to do in terms of lifestyle shots, you need to do more videos, you need to do more of everything, so that us as an agency, as an example, we then need to do a lot more creatives. Then your ad spend obviously needs to be higher because your ad spend is a lot more scattered because, again, you have a lot more products, so you want to make sure that you are able to advertise all of them. So then we are left with a bit more complicated campaign structure. We always have to cycle through one-time campaigns to make sure that we can publish all these new SKUs. It's complicated for us. It's complicated for the e-commerce brand owner. It's costing them more. So again, we're looking at these multiple SKU stores, and I'm specifically going to talk about fashion and accessory stores because this is usually, I would say, again, I could be wrong. There could be other industry people watching this and being like, well, we face the same issues. So these will still apply to you, but usually we're going to find that these issues apply mainly to fashion brand owners and accessory brand owners. So looking at that, if you look at your Shopify stats, like we did for that client, they have hundreds of SKUs. I'm talking close to 1,000 SKUs on the website, but there's probably 10 to 15 products that sell. The rest may or may not get a sale every so often. You know, they may get a sale every couple of weeks, every couple of months, but that's about it. And I'm gonna give the best example. You know, I went downtown the other day and bought a new pair of sunglasses. So I went to one of these local shops in Montreal called Lunatic. And when I went to that shop, I actually noticed that they did not have that many offered choices. I mean, look, I'm saying that they probably had maybe 20, 30 pairs of eyeglasses. Whereas if you're used to going to an actual, you know, eyeglass shop, you would probably have hundreds, if not more, of choices. You know, you have rows of glasses. At least that's what I'm seeing with the usual shops I've been to. So going there, I was like, 20 choices, right? So I don't have that many to choose from. But it also eliminates the fallacy of choice. Whereas at the end of the day, if you have too many choices as a customer, you won't really know what to choose because there's just too much that's offered to you. And we're seeing that some of our clients sometimes work with product launches and they shut down the whole website for a couple of hours. They remove every single product. And then when they relaunch the site, it's only the new collection, which is maybe 12 new products on there for a couple of days before they turn everything back on. So that works great because they eliminate choice and there's the effect of novelty on there, and they know that these are probably going to be bestsellers. So I'll kind of get back to the main point, which is larger inventories means higher budget. Means higher budget because you need to have more products on shelf, you need to have bigger warehouses, you need to do more creative work to actually shoot all of these SKUs. Then your ad spend will also need to increase because your scattered ad spend across different collections and products, whereas you could probably focus that down on a very core niche group of products and only keep those on stock. And the second thing that this also does is that it prevents you from focusing on improving your core group of products. So instead of making better versions, right? Again, let's just say I'm going to talk about accessories now. Let's just talk about rings, right? Let's say you're making rings and these are in silver, but look, you're noticing that materials, sometimes they deteriorate over time. And I don't know, the average, customer complaint you get is like every once 3 or 4 months, people are like, well, my ring changed color. You could just spend some time finding better suppliers, better materials, make that product better, maybe make variations of that singular product, and that's it. Like you spend time focusing on a product that your customers already love. Whereas if you're just pumping out SKUs, you're never gonna have the time, nor the focus, nor the energy, nor the actual money to spend on improving these core group of products. So you're actually penalizing your customers at the end of the day because they're getting lower quality products because you want to focus on increasing your inventory, which at the end of the day might not even benefit your newer customers. Now, obviously, if we start talking about your recurring customers, then how do you keep customers? Well, you definitely need to cycle through a couple products, right? You need to launch stuff new so that people come back. But you would definitely need to only be, especially for acquisition, I'm talking here, you need to have this core group of products that you just always improve on. And you'll see this a lot with tech companies, right? Don't make, essentially, let's just take Apple as an example. Why is Apple not launching a bunch other variations of products, right? Why is Apple not doing, as an example, TVs? Why is Apple not doing fridge, or stoves or appliances, right? It's just, why is Apple not doing all this stuff? They're a tech brand after all. They could probably be able to put tech into these appliances as an example. But the reason why they're not doing that is because they have this core group of products that they just keep on selling. The iPhone, the iPad, the Mac, and I might be forgetting some right here, but those are like the kind of 3 main that pretty much everybody has if they're an Apple fan. So there's the iPhone version 1, right? A bunch of years ago now at this point, there's the iPhone 2, 3, 4, 5, now, iPhone 14. So you could be doing the same type of thing with your products, right? You could have version 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then just always keep on improving the same exact product. An iPhone 12 years ago versus an iPhone today still has the same purpose. For you to make calls, for you to take videos, take photos, for you to actually be able to connect with other people. It just has evolved through time. And right now, this is a tech device. So there's obviously a lot to do with progress in the tech space. But again, this could work with something as simple as a ring, right? You could just change its shape, add more colors. You could probably just, again, make the materials better. So there's a lot for you to iterate on with a singular product. And then by you improving on one, or again, just a small group of products, it'll lead to better margins because you'll have the time to negotiate with suppliers, get better materials, make your whole process better. So you'll be invested a lot more into these micro improvements so you can make tweaks to ultimately increase margins. And it's kind of the opposite of the first point too, right? Because if you have fewer products, then you have fewer creatives that you need to produce. Then if you have also fewer creatives that you need to produce, then your ad spend is more focused. So you're much more likely to find something that works because you're not optimizing 20 SKUs with different ads, you're optimizing a core set of 5 to 10 SKUs with your ads. And then the kind of third point I'm gonna say is more of as an example as a service-based business, as an agency. Let's say we are choosing to focus on 2 primary channels, which is what we're doing at the agency. Our primary channels are Facebook and TikTok, right? Those are the primary ad channels that we're decided to focus on at the agency. Are we offering other ad channels? Yes. Are we offering them to everyone? No. We're very selective when we offer these other ad channels. But we have these 2 core ad channels that we offer at the agency. Why? Because it allows us to get much deeper and better into the whole funnel, right? We can understand the ins and outs of Facebook like no one else does. We can understand the ins and outs of TikTok like no one else does. So this allows us to actually just go much deeper into the problems that somebody might encounter on that platform. And we just get to be the experts at one thing or a very selective group of things. But then let's say it was the opposite. Let's say you're a full service traditional agency, right? You're offering community management, organic content, paid content, ads on every single ad platform, email marketing. It becomes very hard to actually do any of these things right. And I'm talking at a small to medium scale. At a big scale, it's something completely different. Like let's say for us as a paid ads agency, I could very well tomorrow morning go and acquire an email marketing agency, integrate that within our service. We have a dedicated leader and team handling that, almost like somewhat of a co-founder essentially. So they're handling this whole side of the business. That's different. Those are kind of businesses inside one main umbrella. But I'm saying if our main offerings were starting to be too scattered, like we've did at times and like we've done, I feel, over the last few months, we've had to cut a few services that we started offering just because of that, because we started getting too scattered. So the main thing started deteriorating in terms of quality. So wrapping this up and bringing that back to e-com, the less products that you have, the more you can improve them, the more you can actually cut on your margins. So therefore you save more money. The less creative work you have to produce for these core group of products, the more focused your ad spend will then be, leading to usually better ad results, so more money. So you've ultimately made a lot more money on a bunch of these little micro tweaks. And at the end of the day, it might look small when you look at these individual pieces that you need to modify. But if you look at the big picture, you've saved a lot of money at each of these places of the funnel just because you've decided to select a core group of products or services to offer instead of offering many different things. So if you're watching this and you want to be one of the first to know about these new videos, if you want to be a part of a community of e-commerce brand owners, of marketers, agency owners, I invite you to click the link in the description down below and join a free Facebook group where you're the first to know about these new YouTube videos. You also get some exclusive content like this free 25-minute training when it comes to TikTok and Facebook ads. And last but not least, if you're watching this video and you are an e-commerce brand owner making at least $50,000 a month with your brand, I invite you to also check out the description below and book in a very short demo call with myself. So that way I'd be more than happy to meet you face to face and then see if you're a good fit for one of our e-commerce marketing programs. Make sure to also check out other videos on the channel for some more useful e-commerce marketing tips. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.